Something's been bothering me a little more recently than it usually bothers me. It always kind of bothers me, but here's what it is. You hear a lot of influencers, doctors, AI arguing with each other about what is the best supplement, or what does this supplement do, or what does that supplement do, or buy my cookbook. Some of you may know who I'm talking about. What does this peptide do? How do you store this peptide? Where's the best place to get peptides? Should it come from a compounding pharmacy? What's the best diet? I'm going to get into this, and I'm going to talk about how you can know for sure, so you can eliminate all the noise. It takes a little effort on your part, but you will know exactly how it works for you. And it's not hard to do. It just takes a little effort. So that's what we're going to get into. So what's the best diet? Is it a keto diet? Is it a carnivore diet? Is it vegan? Is it Mediterranean? What is the best diet? How much protein should you eat? How much protein should you not eat? How much creatine should you take? You know, you hear people are, and now the big thing is 20, 25 grams of creatine. Is that good for you? Or some people, old school, say, well, your kidneys are going to fall out if you do that. Don't do that. Your kidneys will fall out. Well, how do you know? Well, here's the solution. You have to do some of your own research for sure, but this is what I do. I do my blood work. I do it all the time. Blood work is not hard to read. You can do it. So if I want to know, am I taking too much creatine? I can easily find out. Blood work. There's blood work for that, to find out how are your kidneys functioning. Is creatine blowing out my kidneys? What are my liver enzymes? Is this medication or whatever you may be trying, is that harming or putting stress on my liver? There's tests for that to check your liver. You see, and I'm not a doctor. You guys hear me say this all the time. I'm not even really a smart guy, but I've been a gym rat all my life, 50 years. Maybe not all my life, but I was putting weights on a broomstick in first grade, laying on a lawn and bench pressing it in first grade. And I've been in the gym for 50 years, which started in intermediate school. I've done a vegan diet. So am I a vegan? No. Is it really bad for you? Well, I tried it. Now, I know how to be a vegan, but here's what I did. I did a vegan diet for 2 months. And if you watch my channel or any of my social media channels, you know that I'm a big advocate of protein, at least 1 gram of protein per desired per desired weight. So if you weigh 280 and you want to weigh 200, you need to at least eat 200 grams of protein, in my opinion. How do I know? That's what I'm explaining. I know you're probably going, come on, get to it, Steve. Here's what happened when I did vegan. Now, I know how to do vegan. I know how to do it as healthy as possible. Am I going to be a vegan? No, I'm never going to be a vegan. It's not something that I think is going to maximize my health. That's why I'm not going to do it. But the problem with being a vegan is you can eat a lot of junk. You can eat Cheez-Its on a vegan diet. You can eat candy, sugar, sugary drinks, a lot of things that everyone knows are not good for you. You can eat them on a vegan diet, because the rule with being a vegan or trying a vegan diet is no animal products. Okay, so no eggs, no beef, no chicken, no shrimp. So how do you get your protein? You can get your protein. There are some very quality vegan proteins out there that have all the amino acids in the right formula or in the right ratio with leucine high. Those are more expensive proteins. If you do vegan, first of all, you got to read the label and make sure it's got all the essential amino acids in there. So I did a lot of protein powders. I did a lot of amino acids. That's why you eat protein, to get the amino acids out of the protein. And I ate other healthy foods. I didn't eat any junk when I did this vegan experiment on myself for 2 months. Had my blood work done before, and I did my blood work after. Now there's the key right there. I'm testing myself. These studies have hundreds of people. Well, I'm not 100 people. I'm me. I want to know how it works for me. That's the key. And I'm going to go on and give you more examples. You have to test yourself, your blood pressure, your glucose. What's it doing to your glucose? What's it doing to your blood work? How's your blood work changing? How is your body functioning? But that takes a little bit of discipline to go and get your blood work done. I have the resources to get my blood work done all that I want. I just pay for it myself. Not everybody has that. So what happened when I did the vegan? Now, again, I was eating fruits and vegetables. I wasn't eating a lot of fruit, even though I was doing vegan. I did eat some starches. I ate some rice and everything organic being a vegan. So when I went back and I got my blood work done, again, I did this 2 months. I didn't do it for 2 years, but I did it for 2 months. Guess what? My blood work was fine. It was good. I was healthy. All the blood markers I checked, all healthy. But I had my protein up and I was eating healthy. I wasn't eating any junk. So what about carnivore? I don't know. Go find out. I tried carnivore, I emphasized, again, I did this. I emphasized saturated fat for months. I doubled my HDLs. My HDLs went from about 35 to 80 doing a ketogenic / carnivore diet. Lots of high fat. And that's what happened when I checked my blood work. I ate a lot of saturated fat. I ate a lot of monounsaturated fat and other healthy fats, but that's what happened. So the point I'm making here is you can't just believe everybody. Don't be so lazy that you're not going to go check this for yourself. You've got to get your blood work done. I use a lot of peptides. I'm doing research on myself. What is happening? I check my glucose. What is happening to my glucose? And I'll check my glucose with 3 different monitors in the morning to see what it is. My glucose comes in between 65 and 75, pretty much like clockwork. I check my blood pressure. It comes in like clockwork, about 105, 110 over 65. That's what it comes in at. So I know what these different things are doing to my blood pressure, my glucose, and so on. I've tried a whole bunch of peptides, but I always do my blood work. Right now, you hear all these things about growth hormone secretagogues. There's growth hormone releasing hormone secretagogues. There's growth hormone releasing peptides. They work a little differently. First, I got my baseline. My baseline is 80. My IGF-1 was 80. I've tried a few different peptides, CJC 1295 with impamorelin at night and impamorelin and tesamorelin in the morning. Not a huge dose, 500 micrograms each time in evening of the CJC and the Tessa in the morning. That got my IGF-1 up to about 130. That is not super duper high. The range goes up to 300. 80's low, but I'm also 63. I'm trying other things. I've tried MK777. That got it up to 100, 105. That's it. But I felt good on it. But I'm testing all these things to see what they do to me, because that's what matters. What matters is how it affects me, not what the studies say. Now, I get an idea from studies, and don't be so lazy that you're not going to read any studies or find out about any of these studies and some of this research. You got to look at it for yourself. You know, I always say, again, if you watch my channels, who's paying for it? That's the first thing I want to know. Who's paying for it and what's their motives? But then I'll try it. I try a lot of things to see what it does to me. And that's the only way to do it, is to test yourself and test your blood work, to check your blood pressure, check all your vital signs, all that stuff, and see what's happening. And you can't mix too many things in there at once. Now I'm going, okay, that's the max I could get my IGF-1 up to 130. even at my age, I'd kind of like to have it at 170. So what am I doing now? I'm experimenting on myself, HGH directly. I've tried IGF-1, LR3. That got it up to 110. That was shocking how that did not really work. Did I have a bad peptide? I don't know. So I'm going to try it again with a different brand. But I always look at the COAs. I want to make sure that what I'm doing is pure. And I use a lot of nurse practitioners, co-practitioners, 501c, or the compounding pharmacies. I'll use those. I'll have a prescription written for that. And I've done some other stuff too. Going back to college, I tried a whole bunch of steroids, but I'm aggressive with that. Hey, Steve, you want to try equipoise? What's equipoise? Well, it's a horse steroid. It is. Well, let's see. Horses are big, they're strong, and they're fast, and they're lean. And I'm a football player. Yeah, I'll try it, which it was legal back then. You can't do that now. But back in the early 80s, steroids were not a controlled substance. So you got to test yourself. First, how do you feel? And then get your blood work done. And let's see what the HG191, where does that going to put my IGF-1? I'm hoping it'll put it up at least 150, 170. So I'm going to know what works best for me. If you're trying retatrutide, and again, I'm not telling anybody to do this. As a matter of fact, I'm telling you not to. I'm telling you to talk to your physician, your medical practitioner, and then I'm telling you to make sure blood work is done. So anytime you're doing research on yourself, you should have the opinion of your doctor and test yourself. Have him write you up some blood work so that you can get it done, or pay for it yourself and show the medical practitioner. That's really important. Even if you look at AI, and I pay for 3 different AI platforms. You know what? A lot of times they contradict themselves. How should I store this? One will say this, one will say that, another will say a different. And how long does this last? How much should you take? What's the common dose? 3 AI platforms will contradict themselves, and I'm paying for the highest level of those AI platforms. So you got to think for yourself. And so what do? You got to test it yourself. If you want to try something, you have to do research for yourself, and you have to study for yourself. You have to read for yourself. You can't be so lazy. And now it's easy to just trust people. And that's the part that really, really bugs me, is there's a lot of people out there selling crap. And I mean crap. And some of them are even network marketing companies. Well, that's where you find the most crap, is when it's a network marketing company. Garbage, sugar, junk. Just totally lying. Totally lying. This is a peptide that you eat. No, it's not. You can't eat peptides because it's not a peptide once it hits your stomach. That's not what it is. And I've researched some of this stuff. They're not peptides, but they're saying that they are. This is a GLP-1. It's all natural. So are rocks. Rocks are natural also. So don't fall for this stuff. And that's the stuff that kind of really bugs me, is people just going and just believing because it's easy, and we're in this society that we want things instantaneously. I want it now, and I don't even want to look into it. Look, it's your body. It's your health. You need to verify some of these things for yourself. It's also your money, because do you really want to flush money down the toilet when someone's saying you're taking an oral GIP that's natural and it's going to take away your... No, it's not. Now, your brain is very powerful, and there's a placebo effect. That's why when they do all these studies, they always have a placebo group, and the placebo group gets results. Why? Because they think they're taking something they're not. So I guess if you think it's working and it's making it work, I guess it's not hurting you. Hey, it works. If it works, it works, right? Your brain's making it work. So in that regard, it is working. But what works for you? That doesn't work for me because I'm skeptical of everything. I'm going to test it first. So my point with this rant is test things for yourself. Test yourself. Do your blood work. Get a baseline. See where your testosterone is. If somebody says, oh, the research says this will double your testosterone. Okay, let's see. Well, it didn't double my testosterone. No natural supplement, any of this stuff that people are saying is going to double my testosterone. I'm on TRT. And even if I wasn't, it's not going to double my testosterone. How do I know? Well, I've been telling you that, how I know the whole time. So I just want to encourage you to be more involved in your own health. And of course, maybe that's how you start. Someone says, hey, this really worked for me, or the research says this, or the bro science says this. Okay, I'm interested. Now you got to look into it for yourself. You just have to do that if you want to be effective with your resources, your finances, and your health. Because I don't know, it's horrible to go buy something you think it's doing something it's really not, and you don't know whether it is or isn't working because you're not checking your blood. So you got to do that. I check everything, and I do it sometimes once a month. I've had my blood because I'm trying a few different things now. So I'm doing my blood work every month. The longest I'll go is 3 months without checking my blood work. What is my estrogen? What dosage of testosterone is working for me? What's my total testosterone? What's my free testosterone? What's my estrogen? What's my sex hormone binding globule? That's very important to know these things. And again, I'm not a scientist, but I've been doing this all my life. And a lot of people that aren't doctors have done a lot of research and dug into these studies and read these studies and done their own research very much in depth. And there's some knowledge there. So don't discount those people, and don't just believe your doctor either. Talk to 2 doctors, talk to 3 doctors, get multiple opinions. Because just because someone is supposed to be an expert, that doesn't mean they know squat. Because I've seen a lot of people that are supposed to be really smart and know about the human body, and it's shocking. They know nothing. Are you kidding me? It blows my mind how dumb some of these people are, but yet they think they're gods. They think they know everything, and they're going to argue with you. Well, you can argue with me all you want, but I'm going to tell you what certain supplements I do. I'm going to tell you what it does for me. And if you want to see my blood work, I guess you can see my blood work if you don't want to take my word for it. But that's how I know. And that's what matters. People's opinions are great to get you started on what you're interested in and what you want to research for yourself. I know I'm repeating myself because I really want to make this point. Test it for yourself. If you guys have questions, put them in the comment section. Love to hear what you're doing. I'd love to hear your opinions on this. I'd love to hear what you think and what kind of tests you've done on yourself, what you've tried, what surprised you. Did you take this and you thought it was going to do this, but it really did that? Let me know, because this stuff fascinates me. And the results that people get fascinates me because everyone is different. You hear me say that all the time. Everyone is different, so different, and you don't know how something is going to affect you. So give me your thoughts, give me your opinions, tell me I'm full of it, tell me I'm dumb, whatever. It doesn't bother me. But put those comments in the comment section, and I will talk to you soon.